Okay, good question. It's an issue we dealt with last session with the cap and trade legislation. I'm not a climate scientist, and I don't pretend to be, but I did support, after listening to all the debate and even Al Gore coming and presenting testimony before our Energy and Commerce Committee and going through 400 amendments, the bill, the cap and trade bill that came out of committee. You could do everything that bill required and spend $200 million a year for a century, 100 years. You would only affect climate change by 0.2 of 1 degree Fahrenheit at the end of 100 years. There are smarter ways of dealing with this. And whether we believe in climate change or not, we have to invest in cleaner and domestic energy. We need it for economic reasons, we need it for national security reasons, we need it for environmental reasons. Pennsylvania natural gas is 50% cleaner than Saudi oil. Nuclear power, wind, solar, even cleaner. Hybrid cars, electric cars, hydrogen fuel cell cars like the Honda Clarity are all coming on the market and are increasingly popular. If that's what you mean by market-based solutions, I'm all for it. If it's a mandated, government-mandated cap and tax or cap and trade regime, if that's what you mean, I'm not for it. Many experts believe that an aggressive U.S. climate change policy would seriously cut economic growth, and yet many of the worst polluters around the world, for internal political reasons, must ensure rapid economic growth. China, for instance, is building a coal-fired electric plant every week. And so, unfortunately, wind doesn't stay within a congressional district, within a state, within a nation. And so we need to get pressure on all of them to clean up the environment.
Mrs. Strader, do you believe climate change is a real phenomenon? Do you see a market-based solution to this?
Yes, and yes, there is a market-based solution to this. And America has to be the world leader in clean energy like solar panels, the generation of high-volume batteries. Our steel factories, like the one in Coatesville, can produce the giant blades for windmills. You know, right here in the district, we've got the factories, we've got the workers, we've got, but we're really lacking here is the leadership in Congress to get this done. And even Congressman Pitt sits on the Energy and Commerce Committee. So there are market-based solutions. We just need leadership to achieve them.
Congressman Pitts, you have 30 seconds to ask a question.
Sometimes the wind doesn't blow, sometimes the sun doesn't shine. We need redundancy. 58%. When you come into the room, you like to turn on the lights come on, you like the air conditioning. We need electricity. 58% of our electricity is produced by coal-fired plants in Pennsylvania. Is it fair for the American worker to cut our growth while we have no control over the world's worst polluters? And should we continue to support coal-fired plants?
If there's such thing as clean coal, I'm all for it. But I want someone to prove it to me. If I had the availability to have access to that data, let's look at it, because then I know that that will be beneficial to all of us. But prove it. I know that you brought back a piece of steel from the World Trade Center, and I know you're very proud of that, but I think that we should bring back jobs here to the 16th District, and those jobs at the Coatesville steel factories. When I'm in Congress, I will be proud to bring those jobs back home. And I know that we have the highly skilled workforce to do it.
Mrs. Strader, you have 30 seconds to ask a question of Congressman Pitts.
Congressman Pitts, you voted against giving tax breaks to job creators who wanted to build renewable energy sources here in America. Now we are being beaten globally by China at the expense of the American workers and entrepreneurs. How do you justify this position that weakens both our economic and national security?
Well, first of all, there are things that we can do to create American jobs. The Keystone Pipeline would create 20,000 jobs immediately, good paying jobs, and over 100,000 if the pipeline was built down to the southern border. Rather than let that pipeline and oil go to China, who will not clean it as environmentally sensitively as we will. I think we should develop our own resources, develop our own resources in North America and the United States. We have vast sources of oil, coal, natural gas, nuclear, and these are good jobs. That's what we need to be. We need to be energy independent. We can do it within 8 years, and it's a matter of national security.